Good evening, everybody. If you're joining us online for the stream, thanks for watching. We just went live for our first race of 2021. Preseason racing coming back to the track, and we're getting things heated up here. We just got a few more minutes for warm-up for the athletes. So we're going to keep it pretty cool here for a little while as we let that go on in the background. Thanks for joining us if you're in person here. We will be live with some racing action here shortly.
Start it up.
Just a few minutes left here of warming up time. It is the very first race of the preseason here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. Thank you for joining us. We're just a few minutes out from starting tonight's racing action. We're excited to bring track back here in 2021. And thank you for joining us in person and braving the rain. 3 minutes is what we're getting the call, so we're going to get a bell for clearing the track off. So in about 3 minutes, we'll ask our athletes to exit and we'll get ourselves set up. If we're on the outside of the track, thank you again for being here and supporting our athletes in person. Just a reminder, during the racing, we have no crossing over that track surface. Sometimes you might see our officials doing that. We have some trained folks around here that may need to make that crossing, but we try to limit to everybody else to not do so for the safety of the riders and for yourself. Once again, about 2 minutes here of warm-up time remain, and we're going to get started here real soon with Friday Night Racing preseason here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. All right, that sound of the bell is the time to bring our riders in for our pre-race meeting.
Gonna.
Great. We're a family, and it's good to get the family together again. We've done a little bit of consolidating on the program tonight, just given weather and turnout. So listen up if you would. Cat 4 men, your 8-lap scratch race is now an 8-lap scratch race. Women, your 8-lap race is now 6 laps because, you know, equity. And then Cat 3 and 1s and 2s will be riding together. Your scratch race will be 12 laps. Marymore Crawl after that. And then the Snowball for Cat 4 men is still 10 laps. The women and junior women, 8 laps on their Snowball. The tempo for the Cat 3 and 1-2 men will be 12 laps. Remember the JB tempo, 2-1-2-1-2-1 to the finish. The points races, Cat 4 men I now have it is 4x4. Okay, thank you. 4x4, 16 as listed originally. The women are going to 12 laps, 3x4. The 1-2 men and 3s combined will be doing 25 laps, 5x5. Before Amara talks about some of the safety protocols, one quick thing. It is, like I say, the first time in a long time that we've been out here. I think everyone's going to be a little bit rusty. That includes us, by the way. So that's what preseason is about. If we need to take time to get things corrected, we're going to do that. Our first priority out here is always safety. And so if we see something that just maybe needs a little bit of course correction, we'll take that time to do it. Same thing on the starts. We're going to talk about how we roll out from the circle in a moment. But if we need to take 2 laps to get everyone together, we'll take 2 laps before we start the race, okay? This is, of course, the longest track in North America, so there's really no excuse for not being together after 1 lap, but we'll let you guys handle that. Again, safety first, enjoy yourselves. I'm sure the intensity is going to ramp up over the next couple of weeks, but in the meantime, let's have a great time tonight. Amara.
Woohoo! Thanks, Phil. Thanks, officials. All right, so yes, things are looking a little different. I know we're all looking up right now because I'm feeling sprinkles as well. Hopefully we're going to get through this. So first couple things. Cat 4 is we're exempting your rollout just for today. We'll figure more details out as we get going. The staging is over in the warm-up circle. If you saw that, we have like a little F1 start area. We're starting over there, spaced out, 6 feet by 6 feet. Once you get into your staging, then we are going to ask you to remove your mask and keep it on your body somewhere. And then we will start you from staging. That way we don't have to be up at the rail and just eliminate potential crossing. So once you are over there, that is when your mask can be removed to race. When you finish, this is going to be really weird for me to say, but you are not exiting on the back straight. You are not exiting on the back straight because people are staging. So you're actually going to get onto the apron, roll around, and you're stopping here, putting your mask back on, and then heading to your area or your rollers or whatever. So the big thing is your mask is only off while you're racing. So that means while you're rollers, things like that, you have to have it on. That's King County Park rules, and we just have to follow those, okay? Trying to think of anything else. Andy, did I miss anything? I think I hit most things. I'm sure I forgot something. Huh? You know, we're all negative tests or we are vaccinated. We did the extra step. I will say Marymore Crawl, because it's going to be cross groups, is masked. So the Marymore Crawl is going to be with your mask, just FYI. All right, are we ready to do this? So Cat 4 is to staging. Cat 4 is to staging.
All right, and with that, we are ready to kick into this racing event. Our first group's getting called up. Looks like the Category 4 men that have signed up for tonight are being called over to stage for their first race. We've got a scratch race coming on up. Again, welcome to the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome, whether you're tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, or you made the trek out here. We're excited to have you be a part of this community and support our athletes tonight. It has been a while since we've been doing this, so we're all kind of figuring things out together, including myself. I'll be walking you through the races tonight, giving you a little bit of information about what you're seeing in front of you. I'm going to try my absolute best to make sure you know a little bit about the race, a little bit about the racers, and just kind of keep track of what's going on. And I'm also going to try and communicate for our riders so that they know what's going on. We do have some new procedures in our 2021 safety protocols and whatnot, so we're going to try to do everything we can to our best. You can see our riders staging up on the infield circle and prepping themselves to come onto the track. That's right. You did hear me mention we are live on both Facebook and YouTube this year. You can let your friends and family know that if they can't make the trek out here themselves to support the riders, or they're curious about what's going on at the Velodrome, they can check us out online. Head to either Facebook. Oh, I see we're talking to our riders. I'm going to get out of the way.
Okay, Cat 4 men, you are going to be doing an 8-lap scratch race. I'm going to roll you neutral here. If you're together when you come back here, I'll start you with the whistle. If not, one more time around. Riders ready?
All right. It's not officially started the race yet. We're still in the neutral, so we can't quite say our first race has started, but they're getting onto the track, so that's one more step closer. Our neutral lap for the Cat 4 men, our first of this year. Getting things kicked off. This is a scratch race, and if you haven't checked one of those out before, well, it's kind of the standard thing you think about when you think about racing. We give them a number of laps. At the end, whoever's at the front wins. That's kind of how it goes. This one's an 8-lapper, so they're going around 8 times. At the end of it, you will hear a bell at 1 to go. That's that reminder to all of us here that they are finishing up on the next lap, and the first rider across the line will be our winner. Reminder that with 3 laps to go, we are going to try to pre-stage and be ready for the next group, which will be women and juniors for their scratch race. Going to be coming up after this field. So when you hear that 4 to go mark, that 5 to go mark, you should already be thinking it's time to go. We'll be trying to do that staging at 3 to go. Just be ready for that. And we are underway. Our first lap of racing in 2021. Cat 4 men, 8 laps to go. All right, so here's the deal with a short race like this, but also a lot of, I think, I'd expect a lot of energy, a lot of anticipation from our riders on their first race back from over a year. There's going to be some action here at the beginning to kind of test the waters a little bit, move those legs, feel things out, see where everybody's at. So already off to a pretty quick clip to start things off as our field's kind of finding themselves and where they're going to be here. Moving under the broad mark sign there, keeping everything nice and close together. Riders taking their turns at the front. Pretty close formation. Nobody wanting to get too stretched out yet. So riders, if they're fighting for position like that, they're going to use multiple lanes across the track to try to position themselves towards the front. And 6 to go as they cross the line that time. Everybody, again, just taking some turns. You got to advantage at this point. Everyone's kind of looking around and just sizing each other up, trying to figure out who's going to go win. Again, not a very long race. When you think about the total distance of just a couple miles here, it's going to go over really fast, an 8-lap race. So really it's going to come down to the final move unless you see something like this, just ahead of those final sprints, trying to get ahead of the group here. Seeing 5 to go. All right, halfway through the race, 1 mile of racing left to go. The pack has a bit of a gap here. Zach Jurassic been on the front for a while there, riding in that liquid velo kit, the black and the green, trying to establish himself ahead of what will likely be a pack sprint behind him. So just putting a little bit of endurance to test here to see if he can hold off the charge, putting in a good kilo effort ahead of the field so far, doing a good job here. Clicking down the laps, you should be seeing 3 to go. With the pack closing in, starting to organize a little bit. Looks like we got to punch off the front and now trying to close in that gap. That's the biggest effort out of that pack, is going to be trying to close down that gap on their own. not really sharing the workload, so we'll see if they can make it in time before the bells ring in. Coming around this time, they'll see 2 to go, so we know we're closing in on it, and they're starting to feel the pressure. Got to get up there, got to move, otherwise the race is going to roll away from me here. Zach Jurassic still on the move. Come on, folks, put your hands together. It's racing in 2021. Hey, there we go. Come on now. 2 to go. Jurassic still on the lead. It looks like it's going to be Benjamin Flom on the pursuit there. Bib number 412 in the black jersey, trying to make that jump up, and he's done a lot of work here. Got to look like it's going to take its toll, though. Can they finish closing down the lead rider? This is it. Looks like the pack is starting to close in. Can Jurassic hold off? It's just in time. The bell's going to be ringing. Can they get there? 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go. Can they get up there? It looks like some of the riders in the middle of the field who have not been pulling around on the front for a while have some fresh legs. Flom's going to catch, and that looks like that's going to be one of the junior riders. That's going to be Joe Spranger in the second wheel position. I think that's going to be Jurassic, one of the youngers. I think that's Ben in the third wheel position, in a great position behind Joe. Can he come around the outside here? Joe finding his position, now coming around the outside of the sprinter's lane. A little move up, but he thinks he still has it. Here comes one of our juniors in the junior kit. Can he hold on the charge? Here comes Ben. Jurassic. Oh, Jurassic, just barely. We'll get him at the line. Had a good wheel. He knew what to do, and a nice move to finish up the race. Nice work for our first race in 2021. Yeah. Do not exit on the back straight. Continue around. Continue around. If you had not yet, juniors and women riders, you are staging. I should have made an announcement earlier. It's gonna be slow for me too. I'll get better, I promise. So please head on over to stage if you haven't yet. Thank you. Appreciate it. All the folks here in person, give a nice round of applause for athletes. That was welcome support. It's awesome. We got a lot of things going on at the track right about now. We're trying to figure out a lot of things, including the safety of our riders and our spectators. Our race schedule has been updated. Our race book's been updated. There's a lot of info for you to catch up on. Where should you go if you want to know more? You want to get the calendar. You want to see all that stuff. Head to velodrome.org. That's right, velodrome.org, the home of the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome, where you can get all that info, the calendar, the race book, all that fun stuff. All of it's there. Our next field's getting set for their competition in a scratch race. We'll get them staged here and sent on their way here real soon. All right, already getting the whistle. Time to go for their neutral lap. Next lap, our field will get the confirmation they can start the race. This is a 6-lap scratch. All right, so once again, this is going to be a scratch race. So you saw one just a moment ago. 6 laps will be on those lap cards as they come around this time. They'll get a bell at 1 to go, and the first junior to cross that line will be our victor in this field. In about 3 laps from now, we are calling up the Cat 1, 2, and 3 men competitors for staging. So it will be about halfway through this race. We'll try to remember to do that at 3 to go. All right, there's the whistle. And racing is underway. 6 laps of scratch racing. Our field's starting to combine together here into that sprinter's lane. The shortest way around the track down between the black and the red. They've been coached on it well. I can tell because they're wearing the colors of our local junior team, the Jerry Baker Juniors squad, the black and blue. Mentioned already a couple times, but I'll mention it one more time here as we're early in our event. If you would want to find where we are right now online so you can share the stream and let folks from far away know that we are finally racing again here in Redmond, Washington, you can go to YouTube and search for JB Velodrome, or also on our Facebook page, search for the JB Velodrome fan page. You will find us there. You can share the link far and wide. We'd appreciate it. And a huge thank you to our community for donating a significant amount of funds in this past season to help upgrade and improve our live stream. We're increasing our activities on that side by putting cameras in more places around the track, including adding bike cameras, a finish line camera, and some other cool stuff. So we're really excited about that. A big thanks again to our Velodrome community for their financial support to help build that up. Your donations have made a big difference on that front. All right, so early on in this race, not surprising, our young riders are being smart. They're conserving the energy for the big sprint and also kind of just watching each other to see, is anybody willing to make an early move? If not, I'm going to hang out here. Let's keep it rolling together, wait for the big sprint, and see who can make the jump up to the front to take this scratch race. And they are just saw the 4 to go mark, so we're almost at the halfway point. So Cat 1, 2, 3 men staging is going to be coming up here in just a moment. Oh, there's that beautiful sun. Nice. That's a gorgeous view. It has been too long since we've been out here. I don't know if y'all all noticed that the trees have kind of disappeared. Light rail's coming through here pretty soon, so they've been doing some work on the far side over the top of corners 3 and 4. A little bit of different backdrop for us here at the Velodrome. Halfway through the race, it's 3 to go. 3 to go. That's right, you heard the cue, 3 to go. So can we go ahead and stage our next group over to the warm-up area, warm-up circle for staging. Thank you. A little bit of speed starting to pick up here underneath the Stanley sign in turn 3 as our juniors know that they're under that halfway mark and they're got to start sorting this thing out. When are we going to see that big move to the front? Who's going to take the first jump? Seeing 2 to go as they come through here. 2 laps to go. Down that inside line for a couple of laps in a row here. It's been Daniel Scoville. Again, of the Jerry Baker Juniors team, the black and the blue. That's right, we do have a junior team around here. Might as well put in the promo now. You can go check that out as well on velodrome.org, the Jerry Baker Juniors team, or you can just type in jerrybakerjuniors.org to get linked directly to the team site. Pretty cool stuff. Join the growing group of young riders and athletes, now over 30 riders, coming out and competing and training here at the track. Picking up steam here because they know they're about to hear the bell. Their first race of the season. Here we go. It's 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go. Starting to open things up now. Starting to come up and out of the saddle a little bit. It's still Scoville on the front. Oh, big fight around the outside. Looks like Scoville's going to try to have to hold on here. It might just become a 2-person sprint down the back straight, fighting for that front position. Still a couple of bike links separating Scoville from the rest of the chasing riders. Can she hold off the charge? Looking like the 1-lap effort will work out well here. She did lead most of the race in that sprinter's lane and didn't tire. She'll put out the big show now. Nice race from Danielle from the Jerry Baker Juniors team. And all the rest of our riders couldn't quite get there. She says, oh, so close. Lucy was almost there. Good effort from all of our juniors. Nice riding today. You will not exit on the back straight. Keep on rolling around, please. Nice job for our juniors.
All right, Cat 1, 2, 3 men, you're going to be doing a 12-lap scratch race. I'm going to roll you neutral from here. Come around. If you're all together, I'll start you with the whistle. If not, we'll get sent around one more time. Once I finish the announcements, I'll give you a couple of minutes to get your face mask off, and then I'll start you off with the whistle. Okay. Since you guys are going to be going a lot hotter than the other groups that have been out here yet, and they've already had trouble stopping, if you can stop on the home stretch and put your mask back on, great. If not, take a lap to slow yourself down and then take your mask off.
All right, we're going to get things started here. For the neutral lap, our Cat 1, 2, 3 men, category 1, 2, 3 men going out for their 12-lap scratch race. This is a neutral lap, so racing to start soon. All right, so again, scratch race. Talk you through the same thing again. I could repeat myself over and over, but I think you got the gist. We'll hear that bell, and we'll see who will come out on top. We have combined our Category 1-2 men fields and our Cat 3 men fields into one today. It is preseason. It was a little shaky earlier, but we've lucked out. We're allowed to race today because the rain did clear, and we got a dry track. We're all thankful for that. And with that, we are off. 12 laps to go. Matty Hers, number 15, looks over his left shoulder and says, who's going to go first? Because it ain't going to be me right now. Andy Baker will take the front position. That's bib number 4. I saw him getting out the national colors a little earlier. I think we might be sporting those for the points race a little bit later. We'll see. He'll swing out the front and give someone else a turn. So in a field like this, at a little bit longer distance, you should not be surprised to see riders taking turns at the front and organizing these nice long single file lines as they try to stay efficient. Pierce Snowball is bib number 303 in the white, pulls up to the right-hand side. For those maybe new to the Velodrome and don't know all the terminology about racing in general, cyclists get these categories that just basically say, if I go up a category, it means I've won some races in my current category. Time to go into a faster group that goes a little bit longer, a little bit faster. I've earned my stripes. Time to move up. So Cat 1, 2, 3s, those are going to be the top 3 categories out of 5. Depending on how many riders show up, we can kind of break that up a little bit more and set up our races with more fields. Looks like it's showing 9 to go. All right, riders continue to move around, being efficient here. Starting to pick up pace out of turn 4. Looks like Baker once again wants to pick up the pace. Matty Hers will match speed, number 15, and number 18 on his wheel is Nick Martinez. A couple riders from the Broadmark Capital team in that white, blue, and yellow. Riders do come out here in jerseys to kind of show their team membership, who they're riding with to train, but it is a race for yourself out here when you're racing on the track, so everybody's trying to do their best on their own, even though you've got some teammates out there that you might train with and share resources with and so forth. Baker once again at the front, trying to drive this pace, just trying to see who's got legs right now, who's been doing some off-season endurance, who's ready for this tonight. Asking a tough question and looking for those answers. He'll pull up out of the way, and he's done what he needs to do for now. He'll slot back into position, a couple wheels back, and give someone else a chance to take that front. Matty Hers pulls up to the right. Number 11, now sliding position, is going to be Nolan Adams, riding for Dyna Racing. He'll take a turn through on turns 1 and 2, and then pulls out of the way as well. Next up will be the Marymore Crawl. I think we're still staging similarly to what we've done in the past, but we'll call for that at the end of this race. So the Marymore Crawl, open to all, will be coming up after this. Seeing 5 to go as they come across, so we're getting down to it. Our track is 400 meters long, so roughly a mile for every 4 laps. Pretty close to it. So next lap, they'll have about a mile left of racing to go. Bunching up a little bit in turn 3 as everybody's kind of happy to be behind 2 Pyatt Broadmark riders there. The Broadmark Realty Capital team leading the way right now at 4 to go. Baker looks over the right shoulder, making sure he's clear to swing up, and Nick Martinez will take the lead now. He starts to re-accelerate the group as soon as he finds that front position. So he's accelerating now. Three to go, and they know that with this number of riders together, now it's just time to kind of look around and see for the attack that's going to be coming next. At 3 to go, they sit up for a moment, and I've seen this move before. Snowball says, no thanks. I don't like it slow. I don't want no sprints going. Let's get it back up to pace. So Peter Snowball back on the pushing power here, pedaling hard through the back straight. They're coming into the 2 to go lap here, so they know they got to hold on, not lose Snowball, and they do the work they need to keep his wheel in check. 2 to go, 2 to go. Martinez trying to size things up behind him. I see another one of those sneaky junior riders in there. It looks like another one of the Jurassics is going to be Isaac, the third of the racers tonight of the family. Going to be trying to be in that third wheel position, currently following around Martinez. But now everybody slows up and now is looking around again. What to do next? A little bit of chaos here as we get into turn 3, and some of our riders you'll see coming to view being lapped here by the field in that bell lap. Here we go. 1 to go. It's 1 to go. 1 to go. Who's going to take the front here at the 1 to go mark? It's still going to be Martinez now driving the pace. Matty Hers on the wheel. That's Peter Snowball, the next wheel up in the 3rd position. I'm starting to see things gear up a little bit behind him as Jurassic's starting to pick up the pace. Oh, here comes the big sling down the back straight. Can Andy Baker find the front? It looks like he's got the move he needs to come around on that blue line. Can he keep this pace up? He's in a good position, still accelerating. Out of turn 4, Andy Baker, can he hold on? We've got a challenger. It's going to be Baker down the straight. Baker holds on. Oh. The blue jersey of Mike Robson was really breathing down his neck and does a great job chasing him out of that turn, but not quite enough to overtake him in the last seconds. Andy Baker and Mike Robson go 1-2 there at the top of the field. As a reminder, the crawl will be masked. So we will ask for our riders that are going to be in the crawl to mask for the Marymoor Crawl. That's due to our, of course, the mixed fields open for all. So we're just taking a little extra precaution. So mask for the Marymoor Crawl. It's a 1 lap. You can do it. We believe in you. There you go. If you're on the stream right now, we're just testing out some of our capabilities with our new bike cam system, so you can see. We'll call it the Andy Cam. Very cool. That's right. Coming up next is the Marymore Crawl. Marymore Crawl. Anybody like to participate in our fantastic novelty race, the Crawl? Yeah, I see over there. We're going to be joining over in turn 4 here shortly. So staging up in turn 4, as you can see riders heading that way. We will use our normal system, I believe. Are we coming out from the infield? All right, so to confirm, we are going to go do the staging area for the start of this, not the rail. So we will use the warm-up circle to stage, not corner 4. Hot off the press. All right, coming up here in just a moment, we're getting the Marymore Crawl stage. This is our fun novelty race. A little bit of fun here where we go real slow for a while before a one-lap sprint. We'll talk you through it as it's happening.
Okay, crawl participants. When I'm done with the announcement, real quick, like, you can remove your mask. What we're gonna do, we're gonna send you out onto the track. You're gonna go around one time, come up to the rail in 4. We'll start you from 4 with a whistle.
Are we grabbing the rail, or are we just getting rail adjacent?
Masks on for the crawl, please. Masks on. It says race.
Well, never mind.
Yeah.
Put your mask on now.
Just making sure. Thank you. All right, here we go. The Merrymore Crawl. So here's what's going to happen. We have a number in the head of somebody holding a bell. They know how long the race goes here in a standstill once they come back around. We're going to kind of get them staged over in turn 4. And once they get the whistle, the person holding the bell gets to kind of be the timer. They know, and nobody else knows how long it's going to be before they ring the bell. When they ring the bell, then they can cross the finish line and go for a one-lap sprint. First rider across the line after that is the winner. Here's the trick, though. It could be quite a while before we let them cross the finish line. In that time, they cannot put their feet down on the ground. They can't rest on anybody. They can't use the rail. They cannot use anything else to stay up except for their own feet attached to their pedals. If they cross the finish line or touch down on anything, fall over, lose their balance, any of that sort of stuff, then they are eliminated and cannot compete. All right, grab a spot on the rail. Hold on. We'll get you started with a whistle here in a sec. And that'll be our indicator for our timer to start the countdown. Okay, how long will we have to go for? We'll see. This is as you can tell by the naming, the Marymore Crawl. Yes, indeed. It came up right here on our track. It is kind of our in-house fun race that we've done for years. The Marymore Crawl, the slowest lap in track racing. You see plenty of bike stands here as our track stands, I should say. As the fixed gear bikes allow them to apply some back pressure, and it helps them balance in place and go very, very slow. Our riders gathering up right in the middle of the field. Everybody wants to make sure they leave plenty of run-up room to the finish line. No rush, because if you get up there, then you got to just stay in place for a long time and hear that bell. Wow. All of our starters still in it. Nice. Some totally killing this track stand right now. Uh-oh. Run out of track. Oh, foot down. Okay. They'll just exit to the left. They know they're out of the race. We're still waiting for that bell to ring. When the bell does ring, we'll let them go, and they're going to sprint off for that one lap. So we got a couple more exits here. Nice. Down just a few, but still plenty of riders in this one. It's anyone's game at this point. The closest rider to the front now, Martina's running out of room on the track. Oh, okay. Ran out of room. It was a good look at the bike, that's for sure. Very nice. 7 riders remain. A couple exits still, now down to 6. That's Andy Baker now positioning at the front. Joe watching close. Oh, there it is. Oh, right at the bell. Oh, man. And off we go for one lap at the Marymore Crawl. It's a one-lap sprint for everything here. Looks like Henry got the big jump as Henry Kaiser coming out of the turn. He wants to win the first crawl of 2021. The Jerry Baker Jr. has grabbed the first one here as Kaiser comes across the line, and then it looks like it'll be Carl Pratis following up, his teammate. Lots of juniors making it into the field here and doing a nice job in the Marymore Crawl.
Cat 4 men staging.
Yeah, very nice. All right, we got a moment here of transition as we just finished the crawl. The next field up will Cat 4 men for a 10-lap snowball is what I got on our schedule. So Cat 4 men to the staging area for the snowball coming up next. We got more than Friday night racing going on here at the track, folks. If you like what you see and you want to see some more through the preseason, we will be starting up Monday night racing as well. Spectator fees are waived all throughout the preseason for Friday nights as well. We just ask you to come on in and enjoy the evening with us. Regular season starts up in June, which adds Wednesday night racing. We got some Saturday racing going on. Sunday is starting to come on a schedule. It's kind of crazy. Best thing you can do is go look at the calendar on velodrome.org/calendar and check out what we're doing there. In addition to racing, we are also proud to be a host of a lot of great classes and education, because if we don't offer them, then who will? We got to help you learn how to race out here. And even if you're just curious about what it's like to be on a track bike and want to give it a try, we have a Try the Track course that's very low cost and gets you on a bike. Get an opportunity with some help from our staff. It's free for the kids, by the way. Come on out and have them give a junior, a youth, try the track. Plus, we offer classes, a longer experience. We got a 4-hour class for our adults, and then we also have the week-long camp for juniors. There's all sorts of great stuff going on here. Camp Velo can be signed up for online, as well as those adult classes. You can find all of that under the Education tab when you go and check out velodrome.org. All that registration is now open and available for 2021. Been ignoring my some of my chatters on the YouTube and the Facebook stream, so I'll try to catch up with them after we get into this next race.
Okay, Cat 4 men, you are going to be doing a 10-lap snowball. Going to start you the same way we did last time. Roll you out neutral. If you're all together in turn 4, I'll start you. 1 point for the first lap, 2 points for the second lap, 3 points for the third. Any questions? Go ahead and remove your mask.
All right, they are getting started here. The snowball, we're going to be doing a bit of a points tabulation here. The lead rider at the last lap doesn't necessarily win the race. You got to be at the front to get points, and those points are going to continue to go up as we snowball out of control. Every single lap is going to be worth more and more. We have a similar race called the Avalanche, in which the distance is unknown, kind of adding some chaos to it. But this one, they know it's going to be 10 laps. By the last lap, it'll be 10 points to take that lap. So it is a big deal to finish at the front. That's still a big amount of points. First lap's worth 1, second lap's worth 2, and so on and so forth. You get how it works. So do you try to get a whole bunch early when people are kind of holding out, or do you try to wait for the big ones at the end and maybe compete against more riders? There's a bit of a mind game that goes on here, a bit of chess in the player's approach and strategy. We'll see how our Cat 4 men want to race this snowball. Coming up next, our junior women competitors. for their Snowball, our next field up. And the whistle signals the first lap. Next time around is worth a point. Next time around, first rider picks up a point. So a bit of a struggle right for that first point. Might as well get the race going. No reason to wait. Points are points. So it would be Benjamin Flum for Fell Swoop Racing is what I got him for. He picks up the point, I believe, for 12. All right, so it's still Flum trying to take the lead position here, but he might be challenged for the 2-point lap here. 8 to go and 2 points. Looks like that's going to be Zach Jurassic picking that up, 4:02. But that was Itai. So I don't know how that happened. Bib number's changing around, that's why. I get it now. All right, I got it. We're on it. All right, coming back to Flom there at 4:12, picks up the 3. He had 1 earlier, so I think I got him down now for 4 in first place. Confirmed from the officials team, so that's a good sign. I can count up to 4. It has been a while, so I beg your forgiveness if that's as good as I can do tonight. Our race leader in the black jersey in the sprinter's lane right now, coming out of turn 4, still has the most number of points. This sprint. For 4 points, it's Itai moving back up to the front. The rider in the black and blue, number 4:02, now has a total of 6. And he'll swing up and take a breather. That was a bit of an effort there. And look at that. Just as that sprint ends, the rest of the field will catch. So we will see a new rider picking up the next points. And this one's a big one. We're now halfway through. So 5 points incoming for the lead rider. That's going to shift things up quickly. Our second place rider has 4. Benjamin Flum earlier picking up those points, got 4. He's in second. But here's our new second place rider is going to be Joe Spranger, 494, with a nice move there. So now at that attack, it's going to be 2 of our younger riders that we saw very active in the last race coming to the front. Ben Jurassic of the Liquid Velo team in the black and green. The Jerry Bakers Jr. rider, Joe Spranger, went head-to-head in the last race, and they're going to go head-to-head here again. Nice move from Spranger to time it for 6. He's now got 11 in the lead of the race. In second place right now is going to be Itai Malikoff, bib 4:02. He's got 6 points and 4 points to Flom, who's currently with, 4 points for Flom. He's in third place. This is 3 to go, so time to stage. Junior women staging on the infield now, please. The juniors are still out in the front. They're picking up all the points. They're not sharing very well. Did your parents teach you that sharing is caring? Not in racing. Got to be greedy. That's bib 4:03. Jurassic picks up his first points. That's a big total of 7. Just like that, he jumps into second place. So this is how the snowball works. You worked hard early, and now you're watching the race roll away from you at the end because these points are just so significant in the last couple of sprints. Jurassic kind of backing down a second. Maybe he wants to try to slingshot around Joe too. He says, you did that to me. I'm not going to let you do it again. So now Joe has to commit if he wants these points. He's going to get 8 if he can get there. Ben wants to get him back though. Oh! Eee! Oh man. I'll wait for the call. It's on the outside. 4:03 does get it. So Jurassic picks up 8 in that sprint. That should give him 15 in the lead. 11 in second place for Joe. Can they hold on here for a few more sprints? But it's going to be some new riders now coming to the front of the bell. This one's worth 9. 1 to go as Itai now picks up 9 more. Our early leader coming back into the action. He jumps into a tie for first with that one sprint. And he's going to try to get even more here as Itai's trying to hold on. But here comes another Jurassic. There's so many of them out here tonight. How can you keep up? Liquid Velo takes the lead, and this is going to be a 10-point sprint here, which should be enough to move right up into, I believe, 4th place for 10 points, I believe, if he can hold on. Although Flom's trying to charge down, it looks like. Can Jurassic hold on? I think it's going to be a rider in the black and green. Zach Jurassic picking up 10 in the last sprint. Will moving up in the top 5, so that's a nice position to be in. I think based on that, we have to go to the tiebreakers on the finishing position. As we had a tie, I think, between Malakoff and Jurassic coming into that final sprint. 15 points apiece. And I think based on the placement, when I saw, unofficially, it looked like Malakoff came across the line ahead. We'll get confirmation later, I promise. All right. Coming up next, we have some junior women competitors also racing a snowball, and then we'll bring up the category 1, 2, 3 men for theirs as well. Actually, look at that. They've got a JP Tempo coming up. So actually, they're going to be racing a different type of race than we see here. So we got another race format coming up here soon. One of the benefits of being a fan of the track is all the fun different race formats. Can be a lot to keep track of, but it is more interesting, I think, than sitting in one spot and waiting for a pack to ride by you once every hour. A little bit more exciting, you know, more engaging. No shade thrown to any of the other disciplines, of course. It's all good. We all need to get our miles in one way or another. It's great. With that whistle, we're into the neutral. Next time around will be the start of the race, and following that, it's 1 point for the leader, and we'll go up until that last lap. Again, this is a snowball, so the points go up as the race goes on. An 8-lapper. Man, they're pushing it. 8 points on that final sprint. Who's going to come out ahead on this one? Our junior women getting started here. Neutral lap. We'll give them another whistle as they come around the track. And that is the sound at the beginning of the race. Next time around, one rider will get a point. We'll keep building that up from there. 8 laps on the snowball. One point here to the first rider, who will be our first points getter. Looks like Gilchrist picking that one up. All right, so our early points leader, Gilchrist, with 1. Isabella picking up the 2 there. Bella now in first place with 2. Lucy with that 1 earlier in second. For those of you tuning in online, it'd be great to hear from you. From what we can tell, we're in test mode right now. We're adding cameras and capacity around here. So if you have a comment about the stream quality, we'd love to know. I'm getting a little bit of mixed message from here as I tune into it. So if you put that up there in the chat, we'll make sure to check on it and see how things are looking on your end. Bella picking up another couple of points. That'll be 3 on that lap for the lead of 5 points now. Currently in the lead, it's still going to be Bella in jersey 201 with 5 points. Time to mix things up now, as it looks like Scoville, Danielle Scoville coming to the front. So our new points here, it looks like it's still Bell in the lead with 5. I believe Danielle should have 4 in second. 1 point to Lucy in third. Currently where we stand. And the rider off the front, our last points getter, will probably try to take the lead now. It's going to be Scoville coming around the turn. 3 to go. 3 to go. 5 more points for Danielle, and then strongly in the lead now with a total of, I believe, 9. Yeah, it looks like we're having a little bit of video choppiness that we're going to try to take care of in the future. So thank you for commenting on that. Yeah, I wonder what's going on with that. So that's a new problem we're facing here. So as we have growing pains here in a lot of ways. We'll figure that out. It'll get better. Thanks for your comments. Appreciate confirming that. That's what I'm seeing too. Number 210 getting a little bit of a nice relaxed pickup there of points. Rolling the head around, stretching out a little bit, picking up 6 more. So Andy, Christian Miller said there's too much of you on the feed. We're going to have to take you out. He's already tired of hearing about you. So just letting you know. The bell's ringing. It's 1 to go. It's the final lap. Final lap, 1 to go. Cruising across. 7 points for Scoville, who's mathematically uncatchable. But the sprint is on behind her. As it looks like Bella and Lucy going head-to-head for what might be the final points here. Actually, they can catch Scoville down the back straight and go for the 8 points on this final sprint. 1 to go, 1 to go. Nice final sprint there. She rested up, ready to fend off the charge, picks up 8 more, and will hold on to a demanding lead as Danielle will take that one. A couple more riders still coming around, and we have our next field staging on the infield ready to start their JB tempo shortly.